let's go ahead and work on getting a reference image placed that we'll use to trace some vector shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new layer to hold my reference image, and I'll do that with the Create New Layer icon down in the bottom of the Layers panel. And I'll call this Reference 1. And I'll just bring that up above my Artboard 1. So this way I'll be able to have separate layers for the reference image and then the shapes that I'll make to correspond to it. And just for my own organizational sake, I'll set the layer color here to the same that I'm using for Artboard 1. And I believe that's light red. That's looking good. So I'll make sure that that layer is active by clicking on it, and then go up to the File menu and click Place. And it's going to let us bring in a reference image in a way that we can embed it inside of the Illustrator file. And so we're going to do this monorail emoji image. Now, a very important step when we're doing this file place is that we want to look at the options down at the bottom of the file dialog. If you don't see these, you may need to click the options button. We want to make sure that link is not checked. And what that's going to do is save a reference image inside of the Illustrator file. That way I'll be able to actually see what you were tracing over when I go to grade your assignment. Let's go ahead and click Place. And now you can see we get this cursor with a little thumbnail of the image that we're placing. And it's helpful in this step to have Smart Guides enabled. I can see mine because I'm getting those pink highlights. If you don't have Smart Guides enabled, you can go to your View menu and just click Smart Guides. It's going to help us snap right to the edges of our artboard here. So I'm just clicking and dragging and letting go when I get to the bottom corner. And that's going to be our reference image for the first emoji that we're tracing. So I can see it here in my reference 1 layer. I'm going to go ahead and select that image, and I can either do that with the target icon in the Layers panel or just by clicking on it in the document window. So what I'd like to do here is make this reference image semi-transparent, and that way it's going to sit on top of all the shapes that I'll draw into the Artboard 1 layer, and then I can see both the reference image and the shapes that I'm drawing all the time. I don't have to worry about toggling off visibility on either one of those. So once we've got that image selected, let's go to the Transparency panel, and if you're in the Essentials Classic workspace, you'll see that in the stack of panel icons towards the right of your screen. Otherwise, you can click on Window and bring up Transparency. And so here we're going to set the opacity to something around probably 65%. And then as a final step, let's lock down this reference layer. That way I won't accidentally draw shapes into it or select it and move it around accidentally. And then when we start tracing, we'll put the shapes that correspond to that design into the Artboard 1 layer. Now, of course, I could set up the reference images for my other 2 emojis now, or I could spend time drawing out this one and then set those up later.